what happens if a hurricane hits while you're under contract trying to buy a house? Well, I'm glad you asked, because there's a huge storm going out right now. And I was literally just laying back, relaxing, trying to get an hour to myself, a little Amazon Prime, even though I work on weekends. And I said, man, this is a crazy storm. This would be a good video to do. This would be a great blog to write. So I ran into my office, grabbed the microphone, and was ready to do this. But then I thought to myself, it's very important before I move forward to always contact a real estate attorney when it comes to these, I would say, small percentages of devastation that can happen in real estate. Because yes, do I consider myself a phenomenal real estate agent? I do, but I'm not a real estate attorney. So yes, I can read to you what a contract state, and I can give you some advice as a realtor, and I can give you some scenarios that I've been through, but I am not a real estate attorney. It's very important to understand that. So I wrote a big article. I'm going to pull it up right now for you guys, right? And it says, this is a question that nobody talks about, but in the South Shore of Tampa, it is 100%. It happens, right? And the answer is already written in the contract. So I made sure that I sat down and I took some time and I really wrote a nice blog for you, which I'm going to attach to this video, right? Because the contract, and I'm reading this verbatim, has a casualty clause. Florida, as its contract, has a specific section called the casualty provision. It covers exactly what happens when a home is damaged between contract and closing. This is not the same as a force majeure. I think it's pronounced that. If I'm not saying that correct, I apologize. The casualty provision is about damage to the property, and the force majeure, again, don't know if I'm saying that right, clause is about time and deadlines, right? So like, what's good about certain things is it could push closings, right? Like it could state, hey, look, you can't close. This is a forced closing that's going to be pushed. Everyone has to do it. The banks have to do it. So like, for instance, it says beyond parties' control. A direct hurricane hit in the South Shore of Tampa absolutely qualifies. What it does, it extends the closing timeline, typically 7 to 30 days of additional time for everyone to assess and perform. Okay. So it does not automatically cancel the contract, but it does give additional time for everyone. So let's say there is a major hurricane and it comes through. Well, the banks are going to need time for them to go back out to make sure everything's good to go. They're not going to loan a house. The insurance company's got to make sure that they're bonding again, because a lot of times they'll stop bonding on homes during hurricane season. So what happens with the lender? The lender's appraisal was based on pre-storm condition. If the home is damaged, the lender may require a reinspection before funding. I mean, that's just common sense anyway. I mean, like, yeah, obviously, I'm not going to lend you money or buy the house, quote unquote, if it's damaged. The insurance gap, right, between contract close and seller's insurance covers policy. The buyer has zero coverage on the home before they take title. Insurance carriers stop binding new policies, right? So that happens a lot. Like, so we know there's a big hurricane coming in and it's going to hit. What will happen is insurance companies will stop binding. They're like, nope. And we have to wait it out anyway. So you might just be sitting there in limbo. So like, what to do if a storm hits during your transaction? Call your agent immediately. Day one after the storm, do not make any contract decisions until you have a professional damage estimate in writing. Document everything with photos. Oh, that's good. And video. Know your election time frame. You have a specific number of days to respond, and work with an agent to negotiate based on written estimates. Look, at the end of the day, I wrote this all out for you. Okay. I would love to go outside one day with a, camera during a storm, and we could do like interviews with insurance brokers, interviews with lenders, but it does happen. It's common in the sense of Florida, right? That if the what if could happen. Have I had clients that had to deal with the nonsense? Of course, right? Thank gosh, I've never had anyone lose their home either while selling or while trying to buy, but we've been a lot of like limbo where it's just like a standpoint where we have to wait it out. So I hope this is kind of like something that, you know, you guys are like, whoa, I really do want to learn more. Great. Just if you're watching a video, I have the link in the description. Go read the whole blog. I put everything there for you. I mean, I write these things almost every day for you. My whole website is just full of education. And again, I'm probably the only one that says it, but like, yeah, I'm good. I sell hundreds and hundreds of homes. I can negotiate. I can show you how to use these contracts on your behalf, but I'm not an attorney, right? I am not one, and I don't claim to be one, but I do my due diligence and I write everything out for you. And when I do the videos, I kind of stop myself from saying certain things because I don't want to say something that can get me in trouble. So I write it all out for you and you can read it. So if there's anything else I can help you guys with, awesome. You can also check out my new Realtor reviews where I'm doing a ton of cologne reviews. Yeah, I do cologne reviews and watches and everything else because I'm a freaking rat pack and I collect stuff. Look, I did a bubble bath cologne. Look at this. Woo, look at that bubble bath. It's not even working. Well, there it is. Bubble bath. I just did that video before. But any questions, anything you guys want to learn, let me know, and I will talk to you soon.